Will of William Meaty here, back with another VLOGOID for you today, and I'm going to be following up on the video essay I released a couple weeks ago about Cobra Kai versus Wokism, which if you haven't seen yet, go ahead and watch it right now, but if you did watch it, then I want to thank you for helping make it one of my most successful videos yet, relatively speaking. I'm still a tiny YouTuber, but like over 1,000 videos on a video that's good news to me. I especially got some really good engagement out of that one. Some people left some really long and thoughtful comments. There was this one from Fours85 basically saying how much they enjoyed watching my video, and it's comments like this that really give smaller content creators like me the motivation to keep working, even though this is a completely amateur operation. Of course, I stand by pretty much everything I said in that video essay, but there's a few particulars I kind of want to pivot on. Basically, the thesis of that video essay makes the claim that Cobra Kai is anti-woke. That brings me to this comment from Herr Theus, who basically he's making the point that Cobra Kai is not anti-woke, but simply non-woke. This is a point I actually agree with, and if I could go back to the original script and make this point in the essay myself, then I would. Now, one of the hard truths about mass entertainment is that basically all media is manipulation, and there's nearly always some subversive element to it. In a way, our media entertainment ecosystem sort of sits in this what I think of as like a background radiation of wokeism and subversion. Now, Cobra Kai is uniquely low in wokeism, and that's why I decided to highlight it. But then there's also the element of what I've come to call Sigourney Weaver feminism, which is a concept I invented after reading this comment from Jacob Jasper, who brings up the fact that there are so many strong female characters on the show who are capable of beating the boys in a confrontation. The first thing I want to point out is that I actually have a background in co-ed martial arts. There are tons of women involved in martial arts. Things like technique, experience, height, weight, skill level, these all play a part. I sort of had to go through the mental Rolodex to think about which scenes in particular he was thinking about. Now in season 1, there's a brief moment where Sam uses a few hand techniques to fight off Kyler in a crowded theater. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is precisely the reason why most women get into martial arts. There's also a season 1 scene that's played for laughs where Aisha comes in and crushes Miguel on her first day in the studio. This is right after Miguel like sidekicks her across the room, and you know, she's got like 100 pounds on him as it is. And, you know, that makes a difference. There's a reason why there's weight classes, right? And I'm pretty sure it's later in that same episode where Miguel beats up all the bullies and proves he's a badass. So that's not occurring at the expense of the male character in that case. Post season 1, you don't really get many of those co-ed face-offs. In the big multi-combatant battle scenes, like maybe a little bit the school battle, but definitely at the LaRusso house fight, also the mall showdown, you're almost always seeing the girls fight with male backup. When something is woke, it's almost always being done at the expense of something else. The classic example is Rey in Star Wars, who's just the most, you know, powerful Jedi ever, and she, you know, dunks on Luke Skywalker, and that's definitely more woke than anything you'd see in Cobra Kai. At the same time, though, you have to point out that there is in fact a subversive element present here, and it's not wokeism. Let me circle back around to what I introduced as Sigourney Weaver feminism. Now, in I want to say the late 70s through the 80s and the 90s, there was a ramping up of like tough chick characters like Sigourney Weaver in Aliens, or the Sarah Connor character in Terminator. You might point to Princess Leia as a popularizer of this trope. It also shows up as Valeria in Conan the Barbarian, one of my favorite movies. And even going back to like Lord of the Rings, the moment where Éowyn kills the Witch King, that's in the books too, you know. And the thing that makes this a subversive element is that it's very different from what the traditional portrayal would be, which is of the male hero in action to save the princess, essentially. Think Iliad, Helen of Troy, all the Greeks go to Troy to rescue Helen. This is the expectation all the way up through Super Mario Brothers. Now, when the tough chicks start picking up swords and shotguns, that's kind of a spit in the eye to that traditional ideal. However, it's not at the expense of the traditional ideal. The two can coexist parallel. Now, of course, you don't have to like it. I myself prefer if we can get storytelling to be as in traditional a form as we can manage. But like I said, when it comes to mainstream modern mass entertainment, there's always going to be the element of background radiation in terms of subversion. This all kind of reminds me of the debate between Andrew Klavan from the Daily Wire and Shadiversity, the medieval warfare YouTuber, where Andrew Klavan just insists that no woman could ever beat any man in a sword fight. But Shadiversity points out the truth of the matter is that the swords are a force equalizer, and that there are, like, martial arts organizations, fencing for example, where there's co-ed combat and women are more than capable of getting one over on the guys once in a while. You know, there's that famous Bill Burr joke about, no, I don't think I can buy Scarlett Johansson beating up 6 Navy SEALs. Cobra Kai isn't quite at that level. Alright, I think I've said everything I want to say for this topic. I think I'm going to leave Cobra Kai videos on the back burner for now. Got a lot of projects that I want to work to in the future. Thanks again for making that video such a success. And yeah, remember to subscribe and yeah, keep moving north.